I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there is one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin, back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
She was recruited to Oregon partially by, guess who? Mark Campbell and Xavi Lopez. They know what they're doing. And I'm going to say this right now, folks. I'm going to say this right now. Mark Campbell is one of the 5 to 10 best coaches in women's college basketball right now.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
We got the NBA Cup going on. Not that anybody really cares per se about the NBA Cup. Now, I got to be honest with you. I actually did try to look of what does it mean like for the NBA Cup? Like who's playing for what here? I lost interest and I gave up after about 30 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. There's NBA games.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
He also said that the Bears head coaching opening would be the most coveted job after the season.
They'll let that guy stay. I heard today that they were very worried about screwing up Caleb Williams, so that he likes this guy Brown so much that they may let him stay as the head coach. What a disaster that'll turn into.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on Sports.
Oh, we're back, and we're so excited to be back. By chance, maybe we need to catch up on what you missed. DeAndre Swift had a 17-yard run down to the 1-yard line. Next play scores. Illegal substitution. All good. First and goal from the 6. Runs it for 5 yards. Awesome. Hands it off again. Second and goal. Wait, what's that? No, lost 2 yards. Don't even worry about it. Offensive holding. Incomplete. Take your 3. Maybe the other game is giving us something to sink our teeth into. Kirk Cousins' first play from scrimmage. Whoops. Sorry, I'm not on the Raiders. Shouldn't have thrown it to a Raider. That's what he did. Then on 1st and 10 from the 46, Desmond Ridder lights it up with a negative 2-yard run, followed by a delightful screen pass that was called back for offensive pass interference. It's 2nd and 22. I want to go home. I can't until this garbage is done. I'm having a great time. How about you guys?
Yeah, having a good time. This is it. Over City, baby, maybe. In the second half, we get a little pixie dust, and maybe some good things can happen. I mean, we got 16 points in Minnesota. Caleb finally woke up. He's got 122 passing yards. Maybe he's on pace for 2.25. Maybe we could actually win a bet right now, Donnie.
By the way, D'Angelo Malone, never heard of the guy. Just got sack number 2 here for him. So there you go, multi-sack game. Here we go. So that's the type of game. And also coming off of a Thursday night football game that was an absolute snooze fest as well. 3rd and 26, running the rock. Looked like they only got caught with a face mask penalty, which wasn't. And the Raiders will punt. But this is their game plan, I guess, tonight. It's like, you know what? Let's not do anything positive whatsoever.
How low could we go in the sense of we got 30.5 in the Bear game, and we have no total in the other game. So you want to take?
What's the team total?
Points.
The Raiders team total has to be what, 9.5?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'd probably take the.
I'm going to take a shot.
I don't think there's a touchdown for the.
I'll
Raiders.
do it for the sake of the show. I jumped in over 30.5 Minnesota.
Oh, block kick, juice,
Score!
Oof.
Fumble at Raiders ball.
Wow. No, I
don't
know. Yeah, but I don't know.
Look.
That's going to be interesting because I don't know if they had possession, did they?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Because when you block the punt behind the line of scrimmage, you can touch it without it being a live fumble.
Did he possess it? Let's see.
Let's see.
I took the over in the Bear game. See what happens. What happened here?
Yeah, I think it's Atlanta ball.
Let's see.
Well, Keenan Allen has to catch that, no? Down there?
Yeah, nobody had that there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So they got, what,
missed
Atlanta has
face
the ball for
mask.
12.
29.5 are now in the market in terms of Minnesota.
So they sold it even this more when you clicked it.
It's okay. It's okay. Feel good.
Live.
I'm willing
Let's see what
to take a
Sam
look
Darnold's
at
been
it.
terrible in this game
Take
so
a
far.
shot.
Has any juice to Jay?
The dagger, Sammy
JJ?
boy. There it is. Hawkinson.
Jay Jettas?
That Hawkinson?
I don't think it is, and it's probably
Another
coming back
flag.
with a hold.
Here comes the flag now. All of a sudden now they were called clean first half. We got 46 flags in the second half of Chicago right
By
now.
the way, they had the Raiders game, which they had the interception, right? It's like, let's get some juice going. They make the appropriate call and throw that screen pass. I'm not even sure we actually had a flag on that play. Like, I'm not even know what they showed the replay there. Looked egregiously bad as a call, but
I just tell you, like, up here, like, where is the ball? Like, where? So, just because I'm trying to understand.
They blocked the kick. It's probably around, what,
12-yard line.
Is it? I thought there was a penalty.
Because
on that.
I'm just.
what was the penalty on that?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
And listen, like, I know, look, it kind of. This thing here is
Has
saying.
no idea.
Yeah, they're saying, well, they returned it for 25 yards. So
Yeah.
Falcons ball, the return stands.
Yes, like you can return it all the way down to the one and take a knee. Like, well, now here's where you get the football at. Yeah, no.
So that's what we're dealing with there. This thing is picking up for. I don't even know.
I believe it should be Atlanta football on the 12-yard line.
Like, are they aware of that?
I don't think so.
Like, what is Kirk Cousins? He's minus 172 for another touchdown pass. What would Bijan be to score the next touchdown?
But actually, you know what? I want to see how they call that to come out of there, because theoretically, I guess if the ball does get blocked,
right?
Don't you have the opportunity to still like pick it up as the team that got blocked because it's behind the line of scrimmage?
Well, then it's a first down.
Yeah, it's a first.
Are you telling me he didn't get enough for first down yardage?
No, he did though. He got it out to
no, that was the line of
37.
scrimmage.
He got it to the
I don't know,
37-yard
yeah.
line.
We'll have to see where this comes out here.
So you can block it.
Yeah, he returned it though.
And so it's a fumble. You picked up the fumble.
And you ran it back to
and
the
you ran it
36.
back. Yeah,
So
I guess you're right.
But I guess not.
No, I think so.
Well, why are they celebrating then?
Because they blocked the punt.
But they don't have possession.
Yeah,
they
Yeah, I'm all confused. All right. Okay.
We just don't know where the actual football is going to be at.
The Raiders ran it back to the 37.
Yeah, that's the line of scrimmage.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It was 3rd and 20-something.
All right.
I'm just saying.
No. Okay.
Yeah, where are we at on the field? Yeah, they're right. Yeah, wow, what a crazy play. What a crazy play.
Best
that was.
offensive play of the night for them was a return blocked punt, or just like the line of scrimmage.
True.
It's nuts.
Let's see. If the Falcons get a field goal, I guess that puts the game away, Joe, by the way.
That's it. 12-3 it'll be.
Can't come back from that. Double digits too much.
They could cover the 10.5, though. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Boy, that was an interesting play call. My goodness.
Man, is any so? I don't know. It feels so fraudulent to turn to you guys. Hey, what are you looking to get in on?
Yeah.
Hey, Donnie, you were walking around. Did you click on anything?
No, absolutely not. Like, these are – because when your eye is on overs and the games are played so poorly, it's like, hey, Justin Jefferson needs 38 yards. Like, I don't know if they're going to get 38 yards as a team at this point.
Mm-hmm. Bijan's running very well.
He is.
We haven't talked much about that tonight. 12 carries, 72 yards right now in this game.
Yeah,
Lisi.
Bijan is doing well.
He is. He's the one consistent player on Atlanta right now.
118.5 for a prop. What about Tyler Algier?
Yeah.
13.5 for a live number. Currently 2 yards total on the ground.
I don't know, because the game has been so slow where Bijan only has 12 carries in the third quarter. Like, if you had like 16 or 17, like, okay, give the guy a breather in the fourth quarter when we're up 2 touchdowns. But I don't know if you get that breather now.
See, but I feel like they always want to get Algier the rock, no?
No, they do. Like, you see his numbers, like 5 carries, 6 carries, 8 carries, 9 carries. Yeah. It's there. But Bijan is running well, and it's the only offense they have. So probably, like, you know what? Let's continue to run the guy at this point, and I can't blame him.
But I guess my thought process, Donnie, is it's not on I don't need Algier to get any work on this drive. Mm-hmm. I don't need him to get work on the next drive. I need Algier to get work before the game is out.
There you go, first down. Yeah, no, he'll get 6 carries, but he wasted, 4? What's he at, 4 carries, 2 yards?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's where the waste is. Where I went 20 yards, if I said he's going to get 6 carries against the Raiders, I would have figured he'd get 20 yards after 6 carries. But he's already burned 4 of those carries for 2 yards. Kind of makes it tough now.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to still give him a shot. The number's dropping, in fact. I don't know, just the off chance they throw him in. It's 12.5, so Yeah, that's good enough for me. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this clicked.
Kevin Byard the third.
I jumped in on the Minnesota game. Keenan Allen's got 35 yards. I took him for 50.5.
On the Keenan Allen game, 35 yards. It took him 50.5. Okay.
Yeah, so 16 yards.
Start throwing sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean,
What's some points out of Minnesota? Now Minnesota's on the grind again, so that probably should help you out. The Bears aren't running the football anymore. That's
need
done.
a touchdown by Aaron Jones. That would help me.
Hey Jay,
if I can get him in there.
Look at Kirk waiting to get sacked out here. Oh, bad ball.
That was 3rd and 9. Unbelievable.
My goodness.
How
Boy,
bad.
I needed that catch for.
How bad is he?
He is really bad.
Terrible.
The whole game's a mess, no doubt.
All right.
So what are they going to kick a field goal? Or are they going to punt?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. Wide open. I don't know what that was about. So okay, fun.
He has 84 yards.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
All right, we'll be right back. We're having a lot of fun watching the Monday Night Doubleheader.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Back to right here on SportsGrid. And by hook or by crook, we're going to find some value somewhere, some way on this Raiders offense. They're about to take the field here. Jacoby Myers right now, it says, does not have a target. He, I think, caught that screen pass that was called back. 26.5 for the prop, Lisi. You'd imagine they get Jacoby Myers involved before the game's out.
Yeah, but this is what happened with Cooper Kupp last Thursday. I bought it down to a half and still lost money. I didn't think it was possible. So, I sort of like to go to the hot hand. Look, run it, son. There you go.
That is their only offense. That's their only offense.
You know what? If you're going to force me to take something, Des Ridder anytime touchdown.
Okay.
And, I mean, what can we get on that? I'll take a shot on that just because if they
Not forcing you, though, for the record.
Yeah, but I feel forced. I don't know. I don't know. What is,
Just got to get some action on it.
Yeah, I mean, what can we get? I mean, Kev, his number, 10-1.
Boom.
12-1. They're giving me value. I'll take a shot. Des Ridder.
I do feel occasionally you kind of slam the value button.
Like,
go. Look, this is value. It's like, well, what would have been?
What is real value?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. I'll go back to last week. Cooper Kupp, a half a yard at plus 108. It's value.
Yeah, see, like, that's not value.
What happened?
What
JJ down to the 2. Could have got in there. Come on now. Here's what you want to do,
I need Aaron
Rodgers.
Jones.
Fade route.
Here we go.
Yep.
He wants the touchdown
Fade
pass.
route.
I need Aaron Jones.
It looks like it's going to be a run.
Just pound the rock with Aaron Jones, will you? This Caleb, could he get to 2.25? I took Des Ridder 12-1 anytime
No
touchdown.
shot it gets there. Ooh.
He's taking shots. The kid can smell it.
Come on,
He can
JJ's
smell it.
stronger than that. Strong. Yeah, I think it's an Aaron Jones touchdown there.
All right, I take that. That would help.
Good catch by JJ. What's he up to at this point?
44.
Yeah. What was his other name? What was his other number? His alt number.
His main number was 81.5. At half, it was 46.5. You could have gotten plus 196 at 70-80.
Yeah.
So, you could have gotten Justin Jefferson when his number at half was 46.5. You could have altered it to like plus 196 at 70.
Okay.
And then 80 might have been like 240.
Right.
So I looked quick. I was already committed. I already have him plus 70 plus and 50 plus.
Right.
He's at 44. So, I mean,
That's
this is good. But this is
Raiders.
good. If you're backing Caleb props in any capacity, I mean, forget the rushing attack the whole fourth quarter. It's hurry up like it was in the last game.
Yeah.
That they played.
No doubt about it.
And can we get over 33.5 is the main question.
Well, I think if you do see a touchdown scored here, you should be in touchdown-only mode at that point for Chicago.
That's it.
It's an easy one.
That's good.
Aaron Jones hits the end zone, and that'll make this a 19-3 lead with the extra point pending. You now, I do believe, are in full pass mode.
That's it.
So let's pull up some live numbers. 16.5 spread for the Chicago Bears. Now you're getting even money on that. I actually don't think Minnesota hates playing a bully role.
Right.
Where they'll try and score again. So, look, give them credit. They were the side tonight. Maybe Caleb could find a way to backdoor it, but I'm not going to run to it. Lisa, you are now sitting on 33.5 as the live total, but it is minus 148 towards that under. Caleb Williams passing yards prop. I think this is maybe one of the more intriguing numbers.
Right.
He's at 122. That prop is 214.5. So less than 100 yards. When you have over a quarter of throw-only play, that looks to be a pretty low number.
It is. And again, I'll just go to experience. I had a pretty good day yesterday, but the one that bit me was Justin Herbert. Similar situation. Has 130 yards. I needed him for 2.25 and 275. Ends with 195 because he couldn't hit the blind side of a barn yesterday. So, again, I'm hoping that Caleb sort of comes into a rhythm. Maybe they run a 2-minute offense because that is exactly what they did the last time they played in Soldier Field. They were down by 11. They got a garbage touchdown. They kicked the onside kick, recovered it, and that's how the game went to overtime. So hopefully Thomas Brown remembers that. Run up tempo the whole fourth quarter, and maybe you will yourself right back in. I'm not inclined to take the 16.5, Kev, but I am inclined, like I told you, I took it at half. Caleb at plus 260 for 2.25. So let's hope that we can get there.
He's got 122, so you need 100 yards out. The only problem there is, like, Minnesota knows you're not running the football, so it's pin your ears back. I would be looking at almost even like Caleb Williams' rushing prop, the same way that you're looking at Desmond Ridder at this point, because they don't seem to be doing too much here in the passing game, and I think that those defensive tackles for the rest of the way or for the game itself.
He's at 3, 8.5 number.
He gets that. He's going to get that.
So, I hear you on that. That probably does sound like a tempting number. Aaron Jones, 20.5 more rushing yards to get through his total.
Makes sense.
Justin Jefferson, 6.5 more receiving yards to get through his total.
Yeah.
What about the pass catchers? Keenan Allen, 16.5 more yards. DJ Moore, 19.5 more yards. Roma Dunze would be 14.5.
I mean, I would love to just say take all three and even throw in Komet. And again, how could you not?
Right.
When you think about a quarter and they got, 17 minutes left in this game?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be throwing at least another 15 to 20 times, right?
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong whatsoever, Lisi. I think,
could we get some? I would, perfect world to say, hey, let's push it. If we can get a touchdown within the first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, that would be fun. We have 30 points, 10-point margin. Minnesota look to push tempo. They were not going to run it and just go, get into a box and look to get out of dodge. And then we have a game, and then maybe we can open it up, hit some of these props. Need some chunk plays.
I'm almost tempted, and I know maybe, it'll seem unnecessary, but I'm almost tempted in playing like alt higher Keenan, Rome, and DJ.
Like 80?
Like
one of them?
For example, all three guys to get to 50 yards, if I can kind of piece this together quickly before we hit the break, is just under 4-1 on one book, maybe higher on another book. That's a little tempting there. That's not a lot for any of the guys involved. And again, I think you throw. Yeah. We'll see how it looks here after a quick break.
Uncle Stevie can just walk up the aisle like he's at the supermarket. I'll get a starting pitcher here, I'll get a closer here, I'll get a first baseman here, and he'll just keep throwing things in the cart because there is no limit.
Now he's gone, so they got to go get arms to make that team better. Because the bottom line was they were just outclassed by the Dodgers. Let's face it, they got their ass beat.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I want the mid-major teams. I want the A-10 to get 3 bids. I want, the Missouri Valley Conference to get an extra bid. I want these teams to go ahead that are one-bid leagues and give some of these other teams opportunities to make the NCAA tournament. Simply put, folks, when we get to the tournament, we don't care about all these teams that are big-time teams.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
Let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, back right here. A few updates. If you did bet the Tyler Algier live number alongside me, that comes in as of over 20 yards rushing. I think at 25 in this game, which is exactly what you were looking for. Raiders throwing dead. Called it wrong tonight, certainly giving Algier, or Ritter, more faith than he deserved. They lose Sincere McCormack in the game, which doesn't help, and you just get a even Atlanta, I think, playing as conservative as they did, probably made Vegas that much more comfortable than with the conservative approach. We have finished up 3 quarters, though, in Minnesota and Chicago. The Bears offense now immediately inside Minnesota territory, though, fellas, with a few DJ Moore catches and a few DeAndre Swift runs, Donnie.
Yeah, Swift with 17 for 78 now, 4.6 yards per carry. DJ Moore actually has 3 for 24 as well, 8 yards per carry. So it is kind of interesting how this plays out. I usually say you got to get more up-tempo, as I know Joe says, down 17, but they haven't done a damn thing on offense. Yeah. If you can just somehow, with around 10 minutes to go, be in the red zone, you'll take it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, biggest thing, get the game to 20-10, see if you can force a 3-and-out. Sam Darnold hasn't looked all that great in terms of the second half, right, passing it. And we've seen that at times with Sam Darnold. Maybe not over the past 4 or 5 weeks, but we certainly saw it in the earlier part of the year. Struggled in the second half against the Jets. Just seems at times that he just, doesn't, find the open man and sometimes lets teams back in the game. But we'll see if Caleb can convert. They've struggled with, third downs earlier. Now they're playing more of a zone and a prevent. I'm sure once they get inside the red zone, expect pressure. Got to convert, though. You got to make a touchdown here. Like I said, my internal clock is about 11, 12 minutes of the fourth quarter. Again, that's game on, 20-10.
Yeah. Great punt, by the way, for Atlanta. Pins inside the 5-yard line for the Raiders. They don't field that punt. Long way to go for the Raiders, so we'll see what happens here. For me, hoping they actually get a quick 3-and-out or a turnover. Need me a Bijan touchdown to try to get underway on some of these props.
I'm going to throw something at you guys. Aaron Jones right now, 67 yards. His number's 87.5. But we know Aaron Jones hasn't had the cleanest bill of health this season. Cam Akers at 14 yards right now, a 21.5 number. Any thoughts that Cam Akers could come in for the final carries of this football game?
I actually still would be looking at wide receivers on that shot because let's just say the Bears get any points here. 14 points, still a 2-point lead. You're going to get discounts across the board. And, yes, Minnesota is still going to be throwing the football where it's like, hey, I need Justin Jefferson to get his pregame number of 81. No, you don't need that. So I'm actually still looking wide receivers in that spot.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Cam Akers was effective last week, especially in terms of the third down. They brought him in. It's weird because in a short week you would expect Cam Akers to be involved, but maybe they utilized Cam Akers last week to give Aaron Jones a full workload today. We'll see how it plays. I am going to take a shot. I don't know if I'm crazy. We know I'm nuts. Des Ridder, 50-plus rushing yards, 220. He's got 28.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. I don't. I think when you consider the opponent.
And where they're at inside the 10.
Yeah,
if they bring pressure, I think he could break it.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. I have no.
I mean, you want to go crazy? You want to take him up to 70, like a Bo Nix type of number? You get 11-1.
I'm interested now, actually, a little bit in what Donnie's mentioned.
Come on, Caleb,
run! Goodness me!
Oh, did he catch that?
I think so.
I need that. What a catch!
That's a toe touch, baby. Like to say it. Come on, we need points.
30. How do you feel about 33 more Sam Darnold passing yards?
Yes.
Instead of limiting Donnie to any one pass catcher.
Yes.
Would that be tempting?
What's the alt numbers on the wideouts though? Because when you're talking about alts, they're like probably 12 yards.
Let me see what I can get you for Justin. I assume Justin Donnie to get to 60 was like plus 172. You're getting about plus 60 to get him to 70.
I think it makes sense because one way or another, the Bears are going to score here. Like I know, so like, well, 6 points doesn't get. It still makes it an under.
What a
score
catch!
Game at that point.
What a catch!
It was a great catch.
Unbelievable. Yeah. He's through his number. I took him 51.5. Remember at the second half, 53.
Yeah, it's good one.
54.
Good one.
So, all right, got to get points. Got to get through this 33.5 here. This is a game, Kev. If they score, punch it in. You don't think so?
No.
All right.
Listen, I appreciate all optimism, but I'm not sharing it at the moment with just from what I've seen in this game.
Maybe
it's like a field goal coming.
Stop. You can't.
well, no. So but I think to Donnie's point, due to the nature of the game.
Yep. And if it's 4th and 11, they're definitely
you're going to kick it, which is a disaster. Yeah. Like you should be trying to actually call a play that picks up 6 or 7 yards.
Well, the Raiders have nothing tonight, huh?
Yeah, everything's underneath.
Like first down, they run it.
Yeah.
What does it matter?
Yeah.
It's just been an embarrassing night from them, start to finish here, and it's only the third quarter. We'll be right back here with you on SportsGrid.
Uncle Stevie can just walk up the aisle like he's at the supermarket. I'll get a starting pitcher here, I'll get a closer here, I'll get a first baseman here, and he'll just keep throwing things in the cart because there is no limit.
Now he's gone, so they got to go get arms to make that team better. Because the bottom line was they were just outclassed by the Dodgers. Let's face it, they got their ass beat.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I want the mid-major teams. I want the A-10 to get 3 bids. I want, the Missouri Valley Conference to get an extra bid. I want these teams to go ahead that are 1-bid leagues and give some of these other teams opportunities to make the NCAA tournament. Simply put, folks, when we get to the tournament, we don't care about all these teams that are big-time teams.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
Let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're back at the right here on SportsGrid. 4th and 15. They do take the 3 points. It is the right decision. It's putting yourself in that decision or in that position is obviously the issue there. Caleb, today, one thing that I'm noticing now, which is unfortunate for somebody who bet his live rushing total over, he seems like he has no interest in running and all the interest in extending plays. It's just not creating anything. Like, look, I know he was kind of running around like a madman. It was all off script, but nobody actually got open, Donnie, during 14 seconds of scrambling.
And they have good wideouts. Like, you can only say one thing about, like, the Vegas Raiders. They don't have anything, any talent anywhere. It's like, hey, nobody's open. I understand that. But the fact that you have 3 legitimate wide receivers, and, Joe, we're not talking about, man, as soon as he snaps the football, 6 guys are trying to tackle him. He's sitting back there for an hour.
5 seconds. You look like Chaz Michael.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
He was doing pirouettes out there. I mean, he made critical mistakes, right? You hold the ball for 10 seconds. That's the first one. He didn't throw the ball away, and then he throws it across the field where it potentially could have gotten intercepted and killed the drive. 3 bad mistakes. Thankfully, they came out with a field goal. And again, his props are alive. He's at 157 right now. If the defense could get a 3 and out here, you now have the opportunity to cut it to at least, 1 score, and then no field goals the rest of the way for Chicago, right? You're within 2 scores, 4 down territory the rest of the way. Let's see. The defense has to help you out, though, right now. Against the run, they've been pathetic.
It looks like Bijan in the other game is going to get over 100 yards here. This is one of those, again, once it was a joke, it was 9-3, they kicked the field goal. It's like, okay, the game is over. Technically, it is. Any points here just certainly be an add-on because the Raiders haven't even shown this is like a good drive, it feels like.
No, they not even
Kirk Cousins, man, come on, man. By the way, who does Atlanta play next week? If you're the Bucs, you're watching this game going, man, just give us the trophy right now for this. Oh,
at home.
Oh, you got a shot.
Maybe another best bet this week on the event. Never know.
Tempted. Let me ask you something actually on Atlanta, Donnie. Let's say this team is eliminated before the season is over, which is very possible.
Yes.
Right? Because Tampa's created a gap.
Yes.
It's not, but it's. They give Penix the start?
If you give Penix the start, if you're firing the head coach, if that makes sense. Like, Raheem Morris would be fired by then. Let me just watch Penix play. The new coach will come in and evaluate if he wants Kirk Cousins or not, to me. But if Raheem Morris is coming back next year, you're not starting Penix at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you make of that, Lisi?
Well, based off of the performance over the past 4 or 5 weeks with the division now hanging in the balance and he can't step up, what does he have, less than 100 yards right now?
Cousins?
Yeah. Last I saw was 91.
95 after that completion.
Okay. He hasn't stepped up. I mean, yeah, he's compiled stats, 344, had a couple big plays. Last week they lose by 20. What are you doing? I mean, is he the future? I don't believe so. And again,
he looks terrible too. It's not even like oh, he's coming back from an injury. Like he just looks like he's shot right now.
But you talk about aging quarter. It's not Tom Brady out there, right? I mean, it's not even a guy that you can count on in a playoff type of situation. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's just go to veteran quarterbacks. Baker or Kirk? Hands down, it's Baker.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So my point is, he's not even giving you the record that you thought you would have in the regular season to win the division. Why you have to develop now Penix to see if he could be the guy, and then now you have that assessment. All right, we have a guy that we can count on. Why are we holding back? We can make decisions in the offseason.
I think the tough thing for Atlanta is they wanted a clean succession.
Yep. And they don't have one.
What they didn't want is on the broadcast them giving us a split screen of Cousins and Penix and them saying, hey, you think they'd be better if Penix was in there because of how bad it's been this season so far from Kirk Cousins. And the reason I asked the question, because it may not seem super consequential, of will they play Penix Week 18 is a little bit to what you alluded to, Donnie, is the message it would send.
Correct.
Of open competition at minimum next year.
Yes.
But the nature of this Kirk contract, from our best understanding, is he is going to need to be the quarterback again next season. And I don't know if the Falcons there may say, okay, you know what? We'll do year 2 Kirk, year 2 Raheem. Everybody gets a go at it. But now that becomes increasingly complicated, DRS.
Yeah.
Because if that year 2 yields similar results, you now bring in a brand new coach, staff, and say, by the way, our quarterback's already in the building. He's 27, hasn't played an NFL game yet.
Yeah. No, there are some things because they put themselves in this bond. Like, hey, let's see how we can get out of this because, we're just in a bad spot. Now you put yourself in this spot with Michael Penix and signing to a contract with so much guaranteed money that you legitimately cannot from under it. But also, you have to understand this. If you think Penix is the guy, he was a first-round draft pick. He's still not really counting a lot against the cap yet. So you can afford to say, Kirk Cousins, we're going to move on from. You're going to take a massive cap hit. But at least for that next year, our young quarterback is still going to have a chance to develop. And then the following season, when you're done after that cap hit, maybe you can get after it. But they put themselves in this spot.
No, they did. And again, it's go big or go home. They expected that this team would be an NFC caliber championship team to challenge the likes at the start of the year, San Francisco and Detroit. And they have been anything but. And again, they beat up on Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay, they won both meetings.
Yeah.
But Tampa was banged up in the second meeting, right? They outscored them 36-30 when Kirk had his best game of the year, 500 yards on that primetime matchup. Since that point, Baker and Tampa Bay have been the more consistent team since they got healthy, and they have a rushing attack now to go with it.
Yeah, the first one also happened in overtime.
That's right, 36-30.
And only happened because of a disastrous, one of many this year, missed face-to-back penalties where the game should have been over. But again, think about that. Atlanta has 2 wins on Tampa Bay and is still a full game back in the division. I mean, that should not be an easy thing to do.
Flag.
Yeah.
Easy PI.
First and goal.
I have the over, 37 and a hook.
Come on, can
Give
we get
it
a
to me,
play-action pass? Oh.
The Bears are such a disaster.
But let me ask you this, though, right? Because we know, just think about, and I keep thinking back to the number that Atlanta was priced at the start of the year. I think 13-1 to win the NFC this year.
Right.
I'm talking in
yeah.
And Baker and Tampa Bay were 42-1.
Sure.
42. No love for the team that won the division 3 straight years, that beat the Eagles in the playoff game. And this guy that they got that's making $50 million a year, that outside that one game that he beat Drew Brees and an aging New Orleans team, thought that he was going to walk in on the the golden horse in the chariot and hand them a division title and an NFC championship. It's just crazy.
The thing is, Joe, this is the second year in a row where a team acquired a quarterback coming into the NFC South, and the assumption was, well, that'll be enough to run away with the division. Yeah. And the Saints fell flat on their face.
Yeah.
And now Atlanta has done the exact same. And look, make no bones about it. I think the Saints would be 10 times better than this Falcons team had the Derek Carr injury stuff not all happened and derailed their season the way that it did with kind of the start that they got off to. And you got a shot, Donnie.
Oh, he's going to run it. Throw it. Sack him. Oh, come on.
Yeah, sack would have been good.
Man.
But you have this situation for Atlanta where you have two paths to pick. You either say, year one Penix rebuilding, we got to get him a chance right now.
Yep.
Or Raheem and Kirk, you get one more year at this.
Yeah.
But we refuse to eat that type of money. It's not an easy decision to make. And people might say, well, you're throwing flowers on this team. You never know what could happen. They could still, sneak and steal the division. One, it's a long shot. But even if they did, what is this team going to do in the postseason, right? That conversation is ultimately not going to change enough as the Minnesota Vikings are going to punch it into the end zone with Cam Akers right there. We'll be back with who as Kayla looks to drive it down the field on the other side.
Uncle Stevie can just walk up the aisle like he's at the supermarket. I'll get a starting pitcher here, I'll get a closer here, I'll get a first baseman here, and he'll just keep throwing things in the cart because there is no limit.
Now he's gone, so they got to go get arms to make that team better. Because the bottom line was they were just outclassed by the Dodgers. Let's face it, they got their ass beat.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I want the mid-major teams. I want the A-10 to get 3 bids. I want, the Missouri Valley Conference to get an extra bid. I want these teams to go ahead that are one-bid leagues and give some of these other teams opportunities to make the NCAA tournament. Simply put, folks, when we get to the tournament, we don't care about all these teams that are big-time teams.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December and we see 7, 8 teams open and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, back right here on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Donnie Rightside, and Joe Lisi. Field goal by the Falcons makes that 15-3. The Raiders have not moved the ball. We've talked about what we've seen so far down low here, Donnie. Caleb had to get the ball just because of the predictable nature of this drive. I'm curious, interested in any of these options. Caleb for 30 passing yards on the drive, even money. Keenan for 10 yards on the drive, maybe to catch a pass prop. Any type of drive-related props seem worth it for you on Chicago?
Yeah, it would be the wide receivers for me. So if you're trying to get down Moore, Odunze, and Allen, and there's no even handicap there, I probably just look and say, who's the easiest target? But, I mean, what are we talking about? 5-6 yards for these guys? It's not like, oh, one's at 15, one's at 12, one's at 4. Like, they're probably real limited props. Like, I don't have a read on who's going to get it, but that's the way I would go. Just the 3 wide receivers at the top.
Does he take a shot deep, or does he check down?
He's checking down the entire time.
Well, if he's checking
the
down,
Minnesota
then maybe
Vikings going
Swift.
to be in a prevent. So
I mean, are they going to put Swift in there for pass protection?
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe a check down. Maybe. I would say underneath, I feel like DJ Moore runs all the underneath stuff.
Yeah, he's minus 110 to catch a pass on the drive, Lisi.
I mean, it's not a bad look. I mean, it's not a bad look. I have Komet. I'm already committed. I need 7 yards. That's another check down, secondary option. The only reason why I say short is because the way he's been holding the football and he's been under pressure, now they're going to play prevent, so he's going to have time. So now it's like, okay, you look deep first. It's probably not going to be there. They're taking that away. Look underneath. Look secondary options. Swift coming out of the backfield. Or Moore or Komet would be my options.
Yeah.
I do have Keenan Allen, but he's through his number already of 51.5. So, again, I have a high on Allen of 80.5. That's always
downfield, though. Like, I don't even think you can afford to
look at Ritter looking like he's at Cincinnati.
Wow, drop ball.
You know what? Can I just say something about Jacoby Myers? Saw a stat, and I forget where I saw it online, that like he had 95 targets this year with no drops. Or like 92 targets. Now, that would look like a clear
That
drop.
was a drop.
Yeah,
so,
sure was.
I mean,
can I ask you guys something on the Vegas side? Because they've now shown it on the broadcast a few times.
Mm-hmm.
The Tank for Shador signs.
Yeah.
And there is some chatter out there, around, hey, could Shador force his way to one situation or not? You guys lived it more. We haven't, it's so funny in the player empowerment era.
Mm-hmm.
It was, Eli, like it was much longer when quarterbacks picked their way, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Elway was
right.
I'll go play baseball if I'm not going where I want to go. What do you make, and I'll go to you first, Lisi, of the idea that Shador Sanders might attempt to pick his team, maybe more so than letting the chips fall where they met?
Well, I think his dad has said that, right? Right off the bat, that him and Travis will go to the organization that he feels, number one, they could both thrive and that are going to back them with the resources to be successful NFL players.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think when you look at the Raiders, that's interesting because, again, you're talking about
one of the worst run sports franchise in the past 50 years.
That's the problem, right? Now, even though Tom Brady's a minority owner, is he going to have that much of an influence with Mark Davis and the crew right now that you say, okay, we need to do things this way? Because, again, it looked like they were slightly on track with Gruden, and then that situation played out.
Yeah.
It's just we talk about situations like organizations being cursed, the Jets, right, being another one. Well, if I'm Shador Sanders and I'm prime, yeah, it has the marquee of Vegas, but I would much rather go to like the Giants or that have won a Super Bowl recently. I just would.
Well, first of all, Deion has no bearing on sending these kids, and they're going to. So here's what I love, too.
But
we want to get to the Cowboys. So Shador would make like $90 million guaranteed being the number one overall pick, but he'd rather go 28th and make like $2 million a year. There's no way that's going to happen.
But
no shot.
So maybe it wouldn't be that extreme, Donnie, but let's just say, and I know it's, he wants Vegas over New York.
Mm-hmm.
One is New York, two is Vegas.
Yeah.
Do you think it is on the board? And what would your reaction be if they angled for Vegas? They want to be with Tom Brady. They want to be on the West Coast. Whatever their reasons are.
Yeah, like to me, like I don't actually think it can possibly happen, if that makes sense, because there's not the influence of the past. Like, oh, we'll just hold out. You know what one team will do? Like, oh, you want Vegas? We're going to draft you at 4. We want you. Oh, you want to go to Vegas? Hey, Vegas, what do you want for him? Well, we'll give you – no, you're going to give me 3 ones now for this kid because he wants to go there and you want to go there, or Shador is going to sit out a year and try to do it again. There's no way that happens.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know. It's very interesting, Donnie, because we have not seen it in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not something that is created due to the new era, right? Like it's something that has happened before, and I think one thing that makes it unique is not Shador's talent or even Travis's talent. It does feel like Dion, who goes, listen to me. I've been everywhere. I've been at every level. We're not going to the wrong place.
Right.
That can mess everything up. We can sit here and debate, Lisi, which place should he want.
Right.
But if they believe, if Dion has had great conversations with Tom, and he really, really trusts what that will do for his son, it is, and listen, when sometimes the parents get involved and people go, come on. Again, we are not talking about a normal parent.
Right.
We are talking about Deion Sanders, who is not only an all-time great, who's currently involved in the sports world
and is
at
doing
Colorado.
great. But the decisions that he has made have been fantastic up until this.
That is why, to me, again, he's throwing the football with Malik Neighbors, right? I don't think the Jaguars are drafting quarterback. All I'm saying is, if they feel that Vegas is the place, it feels like they will make it happen to me, Donnie. I just that is the vibe I
He's
get.
going to be on the side, and the Raiders are going to have a high draft pick. So if they want to go up 1 or 2 spots here, I think that's going to make a difference. And you can put the feelers out. We really want to go somewhere else. But I guarantee you, if the number 1 team overall is the Giants and want to go to the Giants, and he gets drafted to the Giants, they will be happy to be with the Giants because you're going to already know who the head coach is. It's not like you're going to draft and in June we're going to wait to get our head coach. You'll know, like, you know what? The Giants are probably going to go for an offensive guy because they need a quarterback and they need to make him a mature guy right away. He's going to go where he goes.
We're going to close out these disastrous games still, so don't go anywhere on SportsGrid.
Uncle Stevie can just walk up the aisle like he's at the supermarket. I'll get a starting pitcher here, I'll get a closer here, I'll get a first baseman here, and he'll just keep throwing things in the cart because there is no limit.
Now he's gone, so they got to go get arms to make that team better. Because the bottom line was they were just outclassed by the Dodgers. Let's face it, they got their ass beat.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I want the mid-major teams. I want the A-10 to get 3 bids. I want, the Missouri Valley Conference to get an extra bid. I want these teams to go ahead that are 1-bid leagues and give some of these other teams opportunities to make the NCAA tournament. Simply put, folks, when we get to the tournament, we don't care about all these teams that are big-time teams.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're back to right here. It is In-Game Live at SportsGrid. It's Kevin Walsh. It's Donnie Rightside. And, of course, it is Joe Lisi. 3rd and 8 here. Minnesota's going to be more aggressive than the team that is down 21 was, apparently, Donnie.
Yes.
I don't understand what we're doing here. I really don't.
Boom, look at that pass rush. My goodness. Yeah. Hopefully these games get running clocks. I can't believe there's 10 minutes to go still in that Vegas game at 15-3. Like, the scores that we have, these should have been like record pace. Like, wow, got done in 2 hours and 32 minutes, both of these games.
We've had some crazy penalties in both of these games in the second half. I mean, it's amazing. I don't understand, like, Chicago had like a 4th and 8. They punted.
4th and 12.
I
agree fully.
I mean, what are you doing?
True, because
and then he's calling timeouts with 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
It's just
crazy.
It's almost like it saves face on the fact that he punted. It's just the whole thing is very,
bizarre.
very embarrassing. No doubt about it. It is totally bizarre. We were talking a little bit, though, just the Shador stuff. There is another angle of it that, because you alluded to it, Don, when we went to break. You said, for the Giants, we'll know who the coach is.
Yes.
Right? And we're like, oh, this is a good situation. The heat has died down massively around the topic. Wow, they destroyed the punter. Absolutely
That's great.
Destroyed the punter.
That's great. I need points.
All right, we'll root it in for you, Lise.
I need
They
anything.
blocked it and destroyed the punter?
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good. That's great.
No, it was a lot. But if I may quickly, how much of a world do you still think there is that Deion gets the Vegas job? I think it's the only job he'd go for outside of Dallas, but I don't know if Dallas is open.
Well, here's the other thing. So you went from one former player in Antonio Pierce to now a Hall of Famer, right?
Sure.
You've upgraded in regards to that, but Deion is a player's coach. It's tough. It's tough because
I don't think he goes pro.
You think he
they
goes?
Just grabbed the top transfer out of the portal. I mean, he's got a lot of good things going for him at Colorado, but it's I
don't know if he's ready for that step yet.
You know what I think it is, Donnie? Actually,
I think at Dallas he would be.
See,
with Jerry,
to me, again, and I don't know what his true desire is, but it's if he goes to Vegas, like quite frankly, Donnie, they could dock the Raiders' first-round pick, and Shador's still going to end up on Vegas at that point. It's the fact that if he becomes the Raiders' head coach, he is now going to get to coach his son in the National Football League.
But see, like your advantage as a head coach, because, and I'm not, dismissing Deion. Love him as head coach in college because I think it works.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how much of a mastermind Deion is. But the thing that he was smart enough saying, I need to get the best coaches around me. I'll bring the talent in here. My son is here. He'll listen to me. I've coached him my whole life. It works out well. His advantage in college football is I can sit in your living room and I can turn this brand on. They're unbelievable on social media. They're getting people whenever they want now. They're building a brand in the Big 12, which is an easy conference to win. It's not the SEC or another conference. Like, when you go to the pros, everybody is on the same playing field. Every single person there is on the same playing field.
Yes.
Because your advantage in the pros is like, hey, let me go recruit a free agent quarterback. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
Let me hit the portal, get the guy I want to, because I just put my son in the NFL as the number 1 overall pick. Did you see what I did with Travis Hunter? I can work the portal. We got NIL money. I'm making a lot of money, and I am a god on this campus.
Yeah.
Why would you leave that at that point? At least not now.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Deion is built for the college game. Yeah. I don't believe there are many coaches with more sway at the college level than Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
It is Donnie, and I'm not sure it would be best for anyone involved. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him to become an NFL head coach alongside his son. That is the only reason I really even bring it up, because I actually think the Dallas thing is preposterous.
But if you listen to me on this, though, if you are a franchise, do you actually want that?
That's where so I think it's a fair question. That's where the nature of the Vegas Raiders comes into play, Donnie, who they would probably love it. Like, I don't think that is an unfair question by you.
Yeah.
I
don't think the Giants would consider it for 1 second. Mara would never, but Vegas would.
Right, a conservative franchise versus a franchise that opens it up a little bit. I agree. I mean, that's why I think Dallas, the Raiders, I think those are fits. But again,
all these teams are going to be drafted are going to blow their head coaches and GMs out, which is a great thing. And if they're preparing to get Shador Sanders at 1, they're going to court him by saying, I have the number 1 pick here. I'm going to get you Ben Johnson, the best GM we can have. You'll be number 1. You're going to be rate starter from day 1. Like, I just don't think they're going to, pass up on that per se, if that makes sense.
It is this once in a lifetime situation with it being Vegas and it being Dion and it being Shador that I think makes it a little interesting. We'll be right back here. Caleb trying to find the end zone. Maybe run it, maybe.
Uncle Stevie can just walk up the aisle like he's at the supermarket. I'll get a starting pitcher here, I'll get a closer here, I'll get a first baseman here, and he'll just keep throwing things in the cart because there is no limit.
Now he's gone, so they got to go get arms to make that team better. Because the bottom line was they were just outclassed by the Dodgers. Let's face it, they got their ass beat.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I want the mid-major teams. I want the A-10 to get 3 bids. I want, the Missouri Valley Conference to get an extra bid. I want these teams to go ahead that are 1-bid leagues and give some of these other teams opportunities to make the NCAA tournament. Simply put, folks, when we get to the tournament, we don't care about all these teams that are big-time teams.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred, or just worked on the side, or kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest, and we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Back right here on SportsGrid. If you had to power rank the worst teams that we've watched tonight, the Falcons might be one. I don't know. This whole thing is an absolute mess, DRS.
It really is. It's just ugly as you can get. Just put out a tweet there. It feels like this should be Kirk Cousins' last game. Like, I'm not saying this because you're watching this and, Donnie, they won. It's apparent. He can't move. His arm looks absolutely dead. And you have to preface this by saying, well, he's not going in to play the Pittsburgh Steelers on a 16-degree night with 30-mile-an-hour winds in Pittsburgh. What do you want him to do? This is a dome against a dead football team, and he looks like he can't do anything. If he didn't have Bijan at running back tonight, I'm not so sure this game is like 3-3 at this point now.
Yeah, it's crazy. They score a touchdown, the Raiders, and I know that's a long, tough ask. It's going to be right on the 5.5 number.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's nuts.
The Chicago Bears, after their touchdown, were going to kick an extra point. 12 men on the field, they go for 2.
Yeah, nice play.
Now, they don't get it. Ball's thrown to DJ Moore. He wasn't really open.
Yeah.
And in this moment, people are watching that going, come on, that doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Because if the Chicago Bears are able to get the football back, which I think they'll get the ball back. Maybe I'm wrong. I think they'll get the ball back.
Yeah.
And if Minnesota plays soft enough coverage to allow them to score, it would not stun me one bit if they just kick that extra point. And this game will finish 27-19, and all of those +7s are losers because they got baited almost, if you will, into going for 2 when they didn't even have any interest in it, Donnie.
Yeah, and also, one of our producers pointing out the fact is this Raiders game is going to finish before the Minnesota Vikings game, which is incredible. A half-hour later start. We're going to hang out to watch these ones. And neither one of these teams coming back has any chance to win any of these football games now.
Yeah.
We're just delaying the inevitable.
Now, are we going onside kick?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that right now.
See, that's probably a little frustrating then, Lisi, because you could set Minnesota up in almost field goal range, where if they did convert the 2-point conversion, A field goal would have got you home on your 43 and a half.
I know. So now I
Raiders
need a
gonna
touchdown.
cover this game, aren't they?
It's unbelievable. Let's see if they get it here. I'm curious to see.
Cousins is going to get outthrown in this game by Ritter. Which, like, you might think is like, well, he trailed all game. Yeah, Ritter's going to finish only with like 140 passing.
Look at him, just running the simple outs. Now, again, Atlanta's letting them do this because
Yeah, but why?
you want
but
6, 7
again,
yards.
there's 3 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders have 3 timeouts. Again, it's not like up until this point Ritter was lighting them up. Why are you playing? Why are you allowing them to get into the red zone?
Because it does.
Yeah, I know.
Chewing clock at this point.
Chewing clock. There's 2 minutes left. 3 minutes.
Yeah, there's no time left. Throw 5-yard plays all they want over the middle.
Oh, he got murdered.
This whole Vegas thing has been atrocious. The one thing we haven't zoomed out on much tonight is, again, of the 4, the team that's looked the best is obviously Minnesota. Again, barring some miracle, will jump up to 12-2.
Yeah, impressive.
Well, where are you, Donnie, on the Vikings as it pertains to best teams in football? Like, if I were to say the top tier of this league is Philly, Buffalo, Detroit, Kansas City.
Yeah.
Right? Where is Minnesota for you as it relates to the rest of this league?
To be honest, they're really good. Like, you can't knock them, but it feels like this is the one team this season, Kevin, we've talked about the least having a great record because it's always been Detroit. The Packers are the intriguing team, and eventually Minnesota's going to fall off, and maybe they don't at this point. They're not ultra impressive tonight, but still, in the division, on a primetime game, winning by 2 touchdowns, you can't fault that as a bad effort, as much as Chicago really didn't participate all that much till late here. But for me, they're up there with the Buffalo. You might say now, hey, Buffalo Bills might be the best team in the NFL. No, they're not. They can't stop anybody on defense. Like, you might put the Philadelphia Eagles in that category. There are a couple teams up at the top, but you need to give Minnesota their rightful respect because if they do run the table, they're the number 1 seed with a great home field advantage.
Yeah,
I think where are you on Minnesota, Lisi?
I think I said it before. Prior to the Montgomery injury, I would put Detroit and Philly 1 and 1A. I probably would give the edge to the Eagles just because I like the way they're playing right now, and I've seen, again, the last 3 games in terms of Detroit. Forget the loss, though. The 2 previous wins, they won but didn't cover. We talked about the dominance in the first 9 games of the regular season, 19-plus in terms of margin of victory. So, again, it seems like they're just slowing down, and that's where the Eagles, I think, have been more consistent with their wins down the stretch. But after that, I put, Green Bay still as the 3rd best team, and then I put Minnesota right there. But, again, for me, it is due to the fact that they're doing it in the regular season, at least in the postseason. I know what I have with Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I put Green Bay slightly ahead of Minnesota. I can't buy in to the Vikings until I see Darnold do it in a playoff type of situation.
The update and the wow, and it's a deserved one from Donnie, is the extra point blocked by Atlanta means anyone holding 5.5 just went from what they thought was a cover to now not covering.
Wow.
And you needed to get a better number if you were to be covering with the Vegas Raiders. What it also does is means if the Falcons, and I know the amount of time makes it unlikely, but by some reason, DPI, whatever, kick a field goal, you have a 2-point game, 2-possession game, opposed to a 1-possession game. So, incredibly, with the atrociousness of this game, that's probably the most significant play we've seen all night.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible that happens where it's like, oh, look at that. You just lost your ticket there. And then a blocked extra point in a dome makes the difference. Now, still, the Raiders do have 3 timeouts left, and everything we've seen out of the Falcons, Kirk Cousins is terrible. But the one thing that has worked is just give it to Bijan, just give it to Algier. You should be able to pick up 1 first down and end this game. Now, for me, I'm actually rooting. Let's see what the Raiders can actually do at this point because Atlanta, as many chances they had to put this football game away, have really wasted all those chances by not being aggressive, by factoring on that we don't think that the Raiders can score any points in this game.
Yeah, play too conservative. They had the better team. They had the better rushing attack tonight. And, again, they allowed the Raiders back into this game from a defensive perspective. They allowed Des Ridder to have his best drive of the year, of the game so far. Right down the field in basically, 3 or 4 minutes? Now it's a game. we'll see. They're going to have to convert a third down with Kirk Cousins. It's going to come down to a major third down, and if not, they're going to punt the football, and then we'll see. Most likely it's a Bijan drive. Hand them the rock, see if he can get you 8-9 yards in terms of the first 2 carries, and then see if he can close it out. Tough ass, though.
It is.
Yeah, tough ass, no doubt. Are we going to get the ball back to the Bears or what?
Hoping.
3rd and 11, ball. It's a 2-minute warning at the 33-yard line. Is there any reason to kick that field goal, Donnie? 50-plus yarder?
So what's the score? It's
15.
Up 15.
27-12.
Oh, yeah, you kick it, no doubt about it. Yeah,
you're not
make it 3 scores.
You're not punting. You're not going for it.
because it's still 15 if you miss it.
Right.
It's a touchdown, extra point, touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. I still think you would kick it in the dome too. So.
Yeah, I don't think you're off base there. I think that means you're likely going to see another Cam Akers or Aaron Jones run here. Cam Akers has gone through a few of his pretty small live numbers in this game. I would say there's a chance they throw it just because, you have Sam Darnold who's been able to pick up some of these spots. I think they very clearly trust Sam Darnold, and I think they know a first down ends the football game. They're going to win the game, but I'm sure they'd love to end the football game. So I wouldn't be too surprised if ultimately they made that decision to toss it there.
I think you just run it out, though. Like, they don't have any timeouts under 2 minutes. Hand the football off, kick the field goal.
Yeah,
and
I'm just saying that. And then they might say, hey, Sam, we actually don't have interest in kicking the field goal, so if you take a sack, we're fine with that. That wouldn't surprise me either if that's what we got here. I'm just we'll see. It is one of those things where it is hard to do anything wrong. Like if Darnold throws a pick 6, obviously that would be something wrong, but it is it's very low stakes for Minnesota on this play due to the fact Chicago has no timeouts remaining. We'll get the result of that and Atlanta and Vegas finishing up soon as well here on SportsGrid.
Uncle Stevie can just walk up the aisle like he's at the supermarket. I'll get a starting pitcher here, I'll get a closer here, I'll get a first baseman here, and he'll just keep throwing things in the cart because there is no limit.
Now he's gone, so they got to go get arms to make that team better. Because the bottom line was they were just outclassed by the Dodgers. Let's face it, they got their ass beat.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I want the mid-major teams. I want the A-10 to get 3 bids. I want, the Missouri Valley Conference to get an extra bid. I want these teams to go ahead that are 1-bid leagues and give some of these other teams opportunities to make the NCAA tournament. Simply put, folks, when we get to the tournament, we don't care about all these teams that are big-time teams.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred, or just worked on the side, or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're here with John SportsGrid. If these games weren't so atrocious, you would be getting a little bit better reactions out of us.
Yeah.
Maybe if we were sitting on sides, we can't fake it though. You know that about us. We're very honest. It looked like an atrocious roughing the passer penalty, Donnie. Again, it didn't. It's just here on the desk, not a lot hung in the balance. I know out there, if you have the 5.5, you were hoping Vegas could get the football back there. I would have loved to see Vegas get the ball back. I still think they will get the ball back. I mean, maybe they have a chance to get it back.
Oh, they're going to get it back.
They had a great chance there, DRS, and instead, a pretty nightmarish roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, because they won't. The funny thing about it is, like, Kirk Cousins, you got a veteran quarterback. You're all in the pocket. You got an easy dump off in the flat. You don't get anything there. So, this is going to run. What do you got?
Lisi, I'm very, very sorry for what you're about to see at the bottom screen.
He kneels it, right?
It's way worse than that.
Way worse than
Way worse than that.
Pick 6?
No. That would be exciting.
Agent Zero.
I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, are you absolutely joking me?
All right.
I mean, what is this? Did he tap his own helmet, though?
Agent Zero. They just don't want to get the kid killed. Might as well just put him in bubble wrap the rest of the year then.
Unbelievable. Agent Zero.
Wait for the new coach to come in.
All right.
Agent hands off. They just get out of there. Hey, Caleb, look, you're terrible. We might trade you. That's what he's getting talked to in his ear.
Nightmare 1 is done. Honestly, I'm sorry out there to be mean. I hope the Falcons get the first down. Listen, I've talked about it a few times this season. I have to listen all week long about how the NBA is a dying product. Meanwhile, we get this garbage here. We got 2 NFL games tonight, and they're literally 2 of the worst games I've ever seen in my entire life.
Agent doesn't want to grip it and rip it, huh?
Actually just taking knees. That's
why
probably
are you
arm
running
wrestling
plays?
people in the stands.
Why are you running plays, risking injury, if this is what you're going to throw out there?
Let's see. Does he get a pass? No, of course he doesn't. Oh, he does.
Who is that?
Big complete.
Score.
Number 10. Never even heard of him.
Oh, boy.
Who is that?
I have no idea.
Des White? Who is
Tyler Scott. Do you have his numbers or no?
No.
Tyler Scott?
All right.
Nope.
Tyler
Had
the
a shot.
Creator out there, huh?
We'll see.
Did they get a first down? No, they didn't. Ooh, and they ran out of bounds. They're forced to get another play. Everybody's upset in Chicago.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Remember when they were calling for Bajent, apparently?
Yeah, this just in. Thomas Brown, not head coaching material. I said it.
Maybe this is the move that put him over the top. They love the move to Bajent late.
Gutless. Terrible.
So terrible.
And you know what? It's a shame because Thomas Brown was a dog at Georgia. They beat up on Hawaii in the bowl game in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll tell you this
better
right
than
now.
that.
West Virginia, Memphis will be way better than this tomorrow.
Oof.
Great bowl
Yes,
game.
Thankfully.
Great bowl game. Can't wait.
Me too.
Who's playing in that one? Is anybody even playing?
Maybe Garrett Green. I don't know. Rich Rod, maybe give a little advice
Garrett
to the
Green,
staff.
running quarterback.
That's
Expect this
Hennigan.
game.
I do.
Hennigan.
Is he going to play?
Hopefully.
Here we go. Let's
Silverfield's
watch. Did they
coach
trust their $50 million quarterback to
the
throw
over.
a pass here?
No shot.
Come on, sack him.
Oh, it is a pass.
Sack
It is a
him.
pass.
Did they sack him? I want Ritter to have a shot.
QB power.
Sack
Look at
him.
this. So bad. Oh, went to Ray too. That could have been a nice
and that's
parlay.
deserving because that was a bad call on the personal foul. Bad call, deserving. Can we get Des Ritter
I
into
needed
the
that
end
Ray
zone?
catch.
Now, I have a question.
Sure.
Why the heck was that the play call?
No.
Listen, I wish
No
whatever.
Drake London?
Why are you throwing? He has been horrible all night. Your ground game has been what you've leaned on all game.
Mm-hmm.
They have no timeouts.
Yeah, but again, you are going against the worst secondary we've probably seen in the last decade. And Kirk Cousins can't even get simple completions. When the defense is running 8 in the box going like, we're going to dare you to throw it. If you get it, you'll beat us. And like, sure, the lineman drops back and deflects the pass.
Come on, Des. Let's go.
Donnie.
Ritter was the better quarterback tonight.
We saw this when the Falcons beat the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Atlanta, your goal more than anything is to gain the first down, right? So I know it's all right, we'll throw for it. But if you ran with Bijan, you'd anticipate you'd pick up 4-3 yards. Just go for it again.
Nah, you wouldn't. You punt it.
Donnie went out of it's a touchback.
Yeah, it was a bad punt. You still would have, but nobody was going for that.
But again, fine. So they would have got the ball back though with a minute.
I need to see. Like, we need to see
a
some action in
minute
this
50.
game.
Like, they might win this game. What's the number, Lisi, on Raiders outright? Come on, you said it.
Yes, I did say it. Raiders outright right
Plus
now.
830. That's a great number.
You want to take it? I'll take it right
Get
now.
in there.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to do it.
Put your bankroll on. Let's go.
Small.
Let's have some
I'll take it
juice.
small.
Let's get
Yeah,
the
how many
juice going.
units?
Now we got a
Half a
second
unit.
run-off.
I'm on a half a unit.
They're going over there. I hope they locked you out. Gave you a better price.
I took
after
a
that
shot.
play.
I want Des Ridder to score.
Stop.
Why not? Throw it.
He runs it in.
Runs it in on a 40-yard run. Why not? Kate Klubnik style.
Can I stand, please?
Come on.
Quarterback draw right here, Joe, for the
Where
touchdown.
are they? I haven't even watched. Where are
Basically
they?
in their own end zone.
Are they?
Yeah.
All right. How many timeouts? Zilch.
Jordan Meredith are just making up names.
Nah, they're
Thank
gonna,
goodness, man.
he's going to step
Is that
up right now.
Wisniewski? 61?
No.
Where are they? He asks. Good. I got permission to stand. I can't do this anymore.
Wow.
Look at this. You got a
giant, the sleeping giant.
Yeah. Here we go.
Run it. Run
Look,
it.
see, now I feel a little more into it all of a sudden.
You think standing
We
helps?
snapping this ball?
Yeah,
What are we
blood
doing?
is
I feel
starting to
much
flow.
better.
You're
I
not
feel
building
much
up
better.
plots. Come on.
Doesn't the clock start?
No,
There
why would it?
goes. Yeah, because
Too
it's a
small.
10-second runoff.
Here we go. Look at this. He's ripping darts out
Get
there.
out there.
Whoa.
All right. 70
Ripping
yards
darts.
to pay dirt.
It's like he had
Ritter.
a night out at the club, this guy.
I love it.
Looks good.
He
Mel
looks
Tucker.
sharp.
Used to be a good coach.
Who?
Mel Tucker.
Tucker.
Mel Tucker,
What, man in the crosshairs, they call Mel Tucker. That DRS used to come for him.
It's absolutely still paying off Kenneth Walker for him.
Ah, that Michigan State
Yeah,
team.
that team. So they went out to West Lafayette.
Michigan
and get
State ought to
smashed.
sue Kenneth Walker for that year.
Come on.
That's a holding call, not call. Oh, there it is. This side of the Yeah.
This is terrible.
This is so bad, man.
Come on, Ritter. Don't be afraid to run it.
How many yards do you need?
22.
Ah, wait, I thought you watched your for a 40-yard run.
Well, because I have him 50 plus. He's
So
got
you-
28.
Okay.
That's I think 260 to 1 and then
EJ
6 to 1
Glaze
to
with the
score,
hold.
10 to 1 to score a touchdown.
All right.
So
I'm looking back on it. I'm not sure you got a good number.
All right. Post-game show's coming up next.
Look at it. No way, DRS. We're not going anywhere, man. Look at this,
The
Donnie. And then we can
longest
break
night
down. We can break down the floods down there if you
Somebody
want.
give me some hot water. Good.
Come on.
Gosh.
No shot. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Locked in now that we're standing.
Uncle Stevie can just walk up the aisle like he's at the supermarket. I'll get a starting pitcher here, I'll get a closer here, I'll get a first baseman here, and he'll just keep throwing things in the cart because there is no limit.
Now he's gone, so they got to go get arms to make that team better. Because the bottom line was they were just outclassed by the Dodgers. Let's face it, they got their ass beat.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I want the mid-major teams. I want the A-10 to get 3 bids. I want, the Missouri Valley Conference to get an extra bid. I want these teams to go ahead that are 1-bid leagues and give some of these other teams opportunities to make the NCAA tournament. Simply put, folks, when we get to the tournament, we don't care about all these teams that are big-time teams.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How do you find some of this great talent that you've brought in, who are still early in their career, might not have a ton of tape on them yet?
I've been around this business, man, for almost 20 years. So a lot of these guys will tell you that I popped into a lot of gyms, sparred or just worked on the side or, kind of worked out, just watching. I've always loved this sport, man. I think it's the greatest. And we want to continue to put on the next up-and-coming superstars. We know we got them.
Only on SportsGrid.
The NFL and college, they don't operate on the same timelines, right? UNLV's head coach just got, the Purdue job this morning, where I imagine, right, UNC probably needs to know from Bill.
And let's say it's late December, and we see 7, 8 teams open, and none of them want Bill. Then Bill's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a college head coach?
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
We're back. Desmond Ritter strips another dart inside the 35. Get to the line. Spike it. Check Ricky.
Call timeout,
1-2 Mike.
All right.
Now, Lisi, just a quick question.
Field goal for the cover.
Now, who again is it that is playing running back for Vegas?
I thought it was Raheem Abdullah from Nebraska. Running back.
Insane?
Why?
Or is his name not Amir?
Yeah.
Amir. I don't know.
It is Amir.
All right, so there you go. All right. It was a senior moment.
What a dart. By the way, props you're coming in for
Jacoby Myers?
Yes. By the way, the Raiders did not have, I believe, entering the fourth quarter, a wide receiver with a catch.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now, see.
Now, do you think you can get one more play, like down to the 30?
How much of this is soft coverage? You know why I don't know if you can, Lacey? Because Ritter does not seem to know that he needs to get the ball out of bounds on any of these throws.
Oh, Raheem. Now they get to talk about it. Congratulations.
You fire Raheem Morris if they lose this game?
Yes. And Kirk Cousins.
Yes. This team, I mean,
he stays in Vegas. Like, he stays at, like, Caesars. And, like, you know what?
Donnie, maybe catch the NBA Cup tomorrow?
Yep. If you're Arthur Blank, you take Raheem Morris down to the roulette table, like, it's red or black right now. You miss, you're fired.
He probably would want to lose that, though, if I know the right side, M.O.
Telling you.
You got to get a 10-yard out and then take a shot with 5 seconds left.
Lisa, you ever been to play the roulette table and just, like, put your numbers down wrong?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah,
that was
all the time.
It depends on the dealer. A lot of the dealers allow you to go when the ball's in motion. Sometimes they cut you off.
Grab
it's a Hail Mary.
Oh, so we're wasting all the time for one play. Oh, wait, they're going to get 2 plays off out of this. Yeah.
Great job. That's good coaching. This AP Antonio.
I'm telling you right now, Lisi, if they lined up for a field goal and made it, there would be an explosion in that stadium. Which they'd be like, you know what, the guy deserves to be back. He understands what he's playing for.
James Franklin.
Because you get the cover and the loss in the game.
Yeah, it's a good point.
He almost had that. It's close. Not knocking it down.
Do you root for a missed extra point overtime?
No, I'd rather lose all my bets and just go home. Rather than watch this game anymore.
No way.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for Bowers.
You're off tomorrow. Yeah,
keep an eye out for Bowers.
What?
Send the big man into the end zone.
Is that where you'd look to
Bowers.
go with the ball?
Come on, just
they got everybody.
Oh, good
They're
ball.
not even going to make
really
it
good
down
ball.
there in time.
Great ball.
Oh!
Interception.
Come on, it's like the Seattle game.
Yep.
Oh. Was that Ritter's first interception of the game, or did he already throw one?
I don't know.
What are you going to do? Wow, what a
Jesse
moment.
Bates.
But he threw it before they were down there.
It's a good-looking ball, though.
Yeah, it was his best throw of the night.
Yep.
Needed a little more. Yeah, it was great.
I'll tell you, it really changed the momentum when I stood up. Feel great now.
I think so. You hit all
It had
your
the
bets.
juice.
Not at all. Caleb refused to run tonight. Then Agent came in.
Terrible.
The Thursday night game this week, though, is Chargers-Broncos. Excited?
No, what's it over under? 26? What is it for that one? My goodness.
Chargers have been trending to the over.
Chargers going to come in here with dollar store players at wide out and running back for this one.
They just gave up a 40 apiece, and Denver just scored 30+. So Donnie's best bet is the under. And Ladd McConkey, 25+ in a parlay with a few other things. Can't wait till we get to break it down with you on Thursday. You've got Tom Vecchio post-game.